that's included in the reserve seating area. So if you want to find out about pricing, you can go to cosmopolitanlasvegas.com/entertainment/hoops-hops. It's an incredible event. It's much like the event we just had for the Super Bowl, and there's going to be tons of people down there in a big ballroom.
Yeah, and the cool part is you get to see more than one game, and you'll get to see some electrifying action. And quite honestly, it's a better betting event than the Super Bowl, which is all about one game, whereas it's action all day long with the basketball. It's fun stuff. All right, let's get to tonight's action and go behind the counter on a number of games. And we'll begin with the NHL game that's of the most interest to the locals, Golden Knights and Red Wings, and this line has been shooting up.
Yeah, we're sitting at Vegas minus 165 at the moment. It opened at 155. Pretty lopsided action, no surprise, as usual. VGK is getting over 90% of tickets and dollars.
Yeah, and by the way, we'll update a note. There's still no status on Larkin for Detroit, and I think that's probably contributing to some people being willing to lay a price or maybe the puck line with the Golden Knights. Larkin is the best player on the Red Wings, and we don't know if he's going to go tonight. It looks like a game-time decision.
Moving to the NBA, we have Kyrie against LeBron, part one this year, and Kyrie, who sat out a couple games, now is listed as probable, so he should play. Lakers coming off a 42-point loss against the Pacers without Oladipo. You talk about an ugly loss. What are people doing in tonight's game with the Celtics?
Apparently people ignored that game the other night because we're still getting an overwhelming amount of Lakers money. We'll always get Lakers money, of course, but even in spite of the huge blowout loss the other night, still getting 80% of the dollars, 86% of the dollars. But on the other hand, the Celtics are generating 72% of the tickets so far. So big money bets coming in on the Lakers with LeBron and looking like Kyle Kuzma will play as well.
Spurs and Blazers, we talked about San Antonio getting wiped out in Oakland last night against the Warriors. They did sit a couple of guys in that game who I assume will be back tonight, but I'm still thinking the bettors might be backing Portland in this one.
Yeah, 2-1 ticket count in favor of Portland. And, it looks like DeMar DeRozan and Aldridge will both play tonight. Pop, pulling his usual big national TV game against the Warriors. We'll sit our best guys and turn that game into a blowout so no one will watch. Well, I got to love that from Pop.
Yeah.
So despite the ticket count being in favor of Portland, heavily in favor of the Blazers, 80% of dollars still on San Antonio. But it's early.
Houston probably the most unheard of one-loss team in college basketball. They play UCF. It's by far their toughest road game so far. Huge matchup. If you haven't watched UCF, you talk about a slow tempo, good defense, and a very tall team. Tell us about the ticket count.
Extremely tall team, knowing Taco Fall,
if
I'm pronouncing that name correctly.
Yes, you are.
There you go. So Houston right now, people are all over the Cougars at the moment. 85% of tickets and 70% of all dollars on the Cougars. Still sticking at Houston -2 at the moment, though.
I always like to try and find the highest volume game going into these the schedules. And I'm guessing, and I could be dead wrong on this, I think it's a tough call tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and say Washington-Arizona ends up as the big volume college game of the day. Am I right in what's happening in that game?
Yeah, your hunch is correct, and we're getting mostly even action in terms of ticket count, and it's pretty competitive in terms of the dollar count as well. About 59% of dollars in favor of Arizona at the moment. Seeing some injury news that will continue to affect betting action here. Senior forward Noah Dickerson being out or potentially being out for Washington, and then Chase Jeter of Arizona probable to play despite back issues.
Yeah, Jeter was on the court over the weekend, so that's a plus. I don't know what they do with Dickerson. It's actually an upgrade from earlier because as of this morning, he wasn't even making the trip. So he obviously did make the trip, and I guess it's a game-time decision. It's just my opinion. I don't have any information on this whatsoever, guys. I don't think Dickerson will play tonight for Washington, so I would approach the game from that aspect.
Yeah, you had mentioned you think they're going to lose a game. As a head coach, you probably want to lose a game.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
I don't think you want to run the table and have no one beat you going into the tournament. The Big Ten game on ESPN tonight, Indiana, everyone left them for dead. What do? They go to Michigan State, win in overtime, and Indiana's one of those teams now getting a player back with Jawan Morgan, going to see some action. Do people believe Indiana's back after that Michigan State win?
Yeah, the public's all over Iowa in this one, actually. 73% of tickets and 69% of dollars on the Hawkeyes. But some reverse line movement, though. It opened up as a pick'em, and Indiana is now a 2.5-point favorite here at CG.
Go back a few weeks, and Tony Miller from the Golden Nugget, his wife Kelly, was celebrating her birthday with a lot of friends over at one of the local watering holes, and there was football going on that day, and also the first meeting between Gonzaga and San Francisco. And this actually was one of the most misleading final scores of the season, because this was a really close game, back and forth, and it was still very much up in the air with like 3 minutes to go in the game. And then Gonzaga went absolutely nuts down the stretch. They won by 13 with the last 2 points, by the way, on a needless slam dunk, which I think got the attention of some of the San Francisco fans and players. Rematch tonight. And I made I speculated earlier that I might look at San Francisco in the first half in this game. I think they're going to have confidence against the Bulldogs because they played them so tough the first time around. I don't know if they can stay with them for 40, but I think they might for 20. What's happening with the betting action in that game, Mike?
Yeah, your hunch may be correct there as well, as we took a big bet on San Francisco. That's skewing the dollar figures early in this one towards San Francisco. So they are about getting 70% of the dollars or so at the moment, but it's even action in terms of the ticket count.
Well, that's
Zags
unusual,
are a
though.
massive favorite here, 18.5.
You know, that's unusual, though, to get when you say the ticket count is about 50-50, because normally when Gonzaga's in action,
70 plus.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost always heavy on Gonzaga. I mean, we were talking with Jason last week. I think it was before the BYU game, and they literally had not taken you guys had not taken a single bet on BYU. So the fact that there's kind of split action, at least on tickets on this one, is an indication the public isn't as wild about Gonzaga as they usually are, and are giving some respect to the Dons.
Yeah, and having watched the first matchup, I think you're right on that one. They a lot of bettors saw they were competitive throughout most of that game.
BYU now sits at 14-10. Their 3 conference losses, though: the Zags at home, on the road at San Fran, on the road at St. Mary's. I mean, so as far as you're going to lose in your conference, now they're going into Portland as the double-digit favorite. Do people believe they're still an upper echelon team?
Yeah, looking like that so far. All Cougar money, not much coming in on Portland to this point, and BYU is a 12.5-point favorite, which is up a half point since open.
Not surprised. People going against Terry Porter's team on basically every game basis. But, you know, Portland's actually covered their last couple of road games. Now, they're at home might be a different story. NCAA basketball futures update. What's happening? Is there anybody suddenly getting more action than you expected, or maybe climbing the charts a little bit in terms of the futures?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the futures in about a month since conference play started, but I was surprised to see Virginia has generated the highest ticket count. They're currently sitting at plus 600, which is, it's a pretty good number for them, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Duke, of course, is he has the highest. He is second highest ticket count, so still plenty of action on the Blue Devils. I mean, really since the Kentucky game, their first game, you haven't seen a great value on them. They're at plus 230 at the moment. And then Gonzaga, people still love Gonzaga despite the public being on San Francisco early tonight. Gonzaga has the second highest ticket count of any of these teams to win the NCAA tournament. They're at plus 700.
Just curious, is Nevada getting any play at all?
Nevada. Let me look at right now. Nevada is, they're right around where North Carolina and some of the, I guess, mid-tier ACC teams are. Your Notre Dames, and I guess NC States from early in the season. Now that they're playing better, they're starting to generate a little more action. Nevada is at plus 2,500, but outside of Gonzaga, then definitely the second highest mid-major of any ticket count that we've got so far. Nevada definitely dominating of the mid-majors, definitely dominating the market there.
Mike, the 3 favorites, I believe, are Duke, the Zags, and Virginia. Who's the 4th team? Is it Tennessee now?
Tennessee is currently at plus 700, and we've gotten a lot of action on them lately as well, as they've generated a ticket count along the lines of Gonzaga, and not quite as much as Virginia, but just behind Gonzaga and Duke in terms of ticket count. So, and certainly that was not the case early in the season.
All right, let's turn to baseball because pitchers and catchers are going to be reporting very shortly, which is kind of the start of the baseball season. What's the schedule look like right now at CG for win totals and other props?
Yeah, hot off the press. I just got a sheet with our 2019 win totals. So
Perfect.
Those are bettable. Early this year, last year, we had those came out around the start of spring training games. So they're available now. If you want me to run down some of these.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not allowed to run down some of these. Sorry, but
okay.
I will mention that the Dodgers and the NL and the Yankees and Red Sox, of course, have the highest win total so far.
When will these be available at the CG app?
They're not finalized yet, but shortly after the pitchers and catchers report and before our first spring training games, those will be bettable online.
So for those people who have the app, if you've got the app, just monitor that. And when they're there, go ahead and fire away. And, of course, pretty much everything that's available at CG Sportsbooks at any of their locations around town is available on the app as well. A perfect reason to make sure it's downloaded and ready to go.
That's right. And I want to remind everyone that if you sign up for an account before the end of the NCAA tournament in April, you are eligible to receive $68 back. I forgot the 68 for 68, right. You got it.
Good stuff. All right, CJ always coming up with some cool stuff for you players out there, and we hope you'll take advantage of it. Mike, a pleasure to talk to you. A reminder that you can follow Mike Young on Twitter at MYoung, and then a whole bunch of dots after that.
Well, 5 underscores to be exact.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I just, my eyes are not the best. I just knew it was MYoung, and then some little stuff that I couldn't see, so I just started typing in either dots or underscores, and it went right to you. So there you go. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Happy to be on. Hope to talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good. Mike Young, part of the great team at CG Sportsbooks. We will take a break. We'll come back. We will get to the NBA. We have not done the NBA for this evening. We've got a TNT doubleheader. We'll break it down next.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
The 2019 Subaru Outback comes with road-gripping, standard, symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 32 miles per gallon. And it helps keep your journey safe with standard eyesight driver assist technology for an extra set of eyes on the road. This may be our most adventurous Outback yet.
EPA estimated highway. Actual mileage may vary. Eyesight is a driver assist system that may not operate optimally under all driving conditions. Driver is responsible for safe and attentive driving. System effectiveness depends on many factors. See owner's manual.
SubaruLasVegas.com.
Your time is important to you, so it is important to us, too. As a business owner, you want to spend your time focused on growing your business, not on dealing with red tape. You can safely leave that to us. At Pro Group Management, we focus on ensuring that you have the best workers' comp plan for your business. Our team of experts keeps up on all the regulatory issues and compliance updates so you can spend your time growing your business. For self-insured groups, Pro Group Management is the leader in providing Nevada's businesses with reliable, quality workers' comp programs. And we have the awards to prove it. Find out how to have Pro Group Management work for you. Visit our website at pgmnv.com to receive a free cost savings analysis now. That's pgmnv.com or call our Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is Colin Miller of the Golden Knights. When you're not watching me on the ice, then you should be riding the fresh powder at Brian Head Resort. Being from Canada, sometimes I miss the snow. And with just an easy 3-hour drive from Vegas, you can ski, snowboard, and snow tube at Brian Head Resort. Log on to brianhead.com to plan your winter vacation and enjoy that fresh Utah powder. So when you're not at one of our Golden Knights games, head up for some fun in the snow at Brian Head Resort.
And with John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy, and it's not just you at LPT. You've got a staff of really experienced, qualified people.
Yeah, Dave, we have 3 other physical therapists on staff with combined over 50 years experience with those other 3 physical therapists. our therapists specialize in different treatments.